If you take one thing from this week, take this. Whenever two readings of a hard passage are possible, the kinder one is usually truer. And let me tell you why this isn't just wishful thinking. This is good hermeneutics, meaning at the end of the day, when all is said and done, after you've done your due diligence, the kinder reading usually just makes more sense. I'm Bill Krapek, fresh, honest readings of the Bible outside of the trenches in the spirit of 1 Corinthians chapter 13. New videos every morning. So let me go through my bullet points here. Let's look at what we've done this week. The sea that meant death. The seams that meant honesty. The crowded cosmos. The very Jewish book. The hidden genius. The tools laid bare. Everyone was a door someone told you was closed, and not one of them was locked. Let's look, for example, at the hidden genius. Now, everybody says that right-wing Christians run people away from Jesus because of cruelty. But all sides have their own form of cruelty. If you think the Bible is irrelevant, some biblical scholar has gotten to you. Normally by the assumptions that we have in society, and you're just following the assumptions that the Bible's irrelevant. But let's look here at the case of the hidden genius. We have a novelist, a world-class novelist, writing part of our Bible. And he's probably not the only one. No, in fact, he's not the only one. Not the only one. And you can learn a lot from him about how to write a book. Because books are supposed to be, well-written books are supposed to be three-dimensional. You have across and you have down, up and down, left and right, and top to bottom. But you also have the 3D coming out of the book. The assumptions that you bring in the book, the knowledge that you bring to the book. And a good writer will create his work such that you could engage in the book in that manner. And the author of 1st and 2nd Samuel, I call him the cantor of Jerusalem. That's what he did. The tools laid bare. I talk about AI, how I use AI, artificial intelligence. And people got you scared of artificial intelligence. Oh, we're building, and that's what they want. They want those doors shut. They want you to fear things. I mean, they're building all of these, AI buildings. I forget what it's called. These data centers. And they want to spy on us. Honey, sweetie, darling. AI is going local. What does that mean? The AI's moving to your local device. The local models are already about 90% as good as the frontier models, as the big models. You can have one local now. It might run a little slower, but it does the same thing. And AI is not an artificial, and it's artificial intelligence. It's not intelligence. It's just a wagging tongue. But let me tell you something. And that's when you talk about it, they hallucinate. So he tells the lies. Wagging tongues have been hallucinating as long as human beings have been around. People say things with great authority. It's called shit talking. You just got to factor it in. Plug your AI. Keep your AI on your local phone. And I don't want to plug Apple, but Apple's way ahead of the game on this. Plug your AI on your local phone. And right now, it's about 90% as good as the big models. That's not going to remain. That's not going to stay. They're becoming more nuanced about how they run these AIs. So, it's just wonderful. Go watch my video on AI and talk about how I use AI. A great author, read charitably, rewards you. Read suspiciously, he closes up. The trench fighters, believer, skeptic, and scholar all read to win. I read to understand. And you should read to understand. And it sounds like I'm attacking everybody but me. But when we have groups, especially in the modern world, get together, you have it's called stochastic. You have the individual true believer in a good way. They're in honesty with a good open heart. But then, and they're going to pop up in there in a stochastic manner. But the overall trend for the actual group is just hate. And everybody looks obviously at the right because they're kind of obvious, but the left has its own form of hate. Healthy, psychologically robust people respect boundaries. And what the left-wingers are telling you is that Jesus wants you to be mentally ill. Everything that they talk about, all the details, they use it in service of subverting boundaries. So you have to separate the details, the things that they bring up that are important. Racism, sexism, homophobia, trans rights, absolutely 100%. But that's not what they're using this for. They're using it to dismantle boundaries. They're using this to dismantle your boundaries. Boy, you better respect theirs. And God, I really just don't want to pick a fight. But the reason why I say this, I'm working on a book, an eccentric tour of the Bible, and I'm doing these videos to support it so I can shop it around to agents and publishers and people like that. And this is just, the reason why I wrote it is because this is what I see. This is a problem. We have people who say they're angels of light, and really, I hope I haven't lost you on anything about this. Maybe the Bible was used against you. Maybe it just went quiet. I'm not asking you to believe anything. I'm asking you to look again with better eyes at something that was handed to you damaged. And by the way, this was put together by AI, but I do a lot of riffing off of this thing. And when I say that they use details to push your dismantling of your boundaries, not theirs, okay? This here is referring to the details. If you're, Sicilian, if you look at what white people in Northern Italian said about my father's side of the family, so Sicilian, when they said about us, it's horrible. The biggest lynching in Southern history, lynching here in the South, in Louisiana, was of 11 Sicilians. We were brought in to replace slaves. And these Sicilians were convicted. No, they were accused of killing the sheriff. And the jury let them go. And the jury and there was a mob out in front of the courthouse, and they were told to, go out the side door because they'll be mad at you. They went out the front door and told them exactly why the case was stupid. And not everybody was let go or anything like that. And they told everybody to their face that the case was dumb. And so they rounded up those Sicilians and they lynched them. I don't have to tell you about what they said about us homosexuals. What can be read badly can be read well. Satan rules the world. And yes, go join groups left and right. We need to participate in civic society. And I believe that 100%. But just understand that Satan rules the world. And things are just going to turn, and just have love in your heart and keep an open mind. And I talk about how this is all modeled on 1 Corinthians chapter 13. This is the thing that matters. So let me read it to you. I'm reading from the Didache Bible with commentaries based on the Catechism of the Catholic Church, the Ignatius Bible Edition. That's what I use. This is where I'm reading from. It's a pretty book. Old and New Testament. Well, I'm trying to see what translation it was based on, because a lot of these are based on a certain translation, but it looks like this is their translation. Well, good for them. 1 Corinthians chapter 13. It's a short one. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. A little side note here. People who want to spread hate are telling you that Paul of Tarsus subverted Christianity, that what we really have is Paulianity, not Christianity. Who talks about faith moving mountains? Only Jesus in the Gospels. The Gospels were not around when he wrote this. 1 Corinthians is one of his earliest work. But he wrote dozens of letters to many of the people who wrote these Gospels. Just a thought. Don't let people divide you. Don't worry about things that people say. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver my body to be burned, but have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love is not jealous or boastful. It is not arrogant or rude. Love does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrong, but rejoices in the right. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. As for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for, including AI, as for knowledge, it will pass away. For our knowledge is imperfect, and our prophecy is imperfect. But when the perfect comes, the imperfect will pass away. Boom. When I was a child, I spoke like a child, thought like a child, reasoned like a child. When I became a man, I gave up childish ways. For now we see in a mirror dimly, but then face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall understand fully, even as I have been fully understood. So, faith, hope, and love abide. But of these three, the greatest is love. The doors were never locked. Come back and look and bring your full, honest self and read like it's your good friend, because it is. Tomorrow we start a new week with a whole new series of videos. Iron sharpens iron. Have a good morning.